So it started with the piano. My parents bought a little crappy upright piano that became an item of furniture in our house, let's say. And my parents didn't really anticipate that, I'd do anything with it, but I guess my mum sort of found me trying to figure out nursery rhymes on it one day, and yeah, just enrolled me in piano lessons, forced me to practice for about 4 years before I actually started enjoying it, and then yeah, I really grew to love the instrument and love playing on it. And actually a lot of my compositional side comes from my piano practice sessions, because what would happen was my mum would get me to practice some pieces ahead in the book that we hadn't quite reached in lessons, and just to escape having to sight read, I would just improvise on the piano and get away with it. And I think that's where a lot of the compositional stuff started. And then come year 7, I started really getting into GarageBand. Really fell in love with that method of writing music, music production. And then in 2014 I bought Logic Pro as my first professional music software, and then yeah, it snowballed from there, and now I'm scoring a video game apparently, which is still kind of crazy to me, but yeah. I'm not entirely sure what inspires my video game scores. It's definitely not video games that I've already played. Oh, maybe to an extent, video games that I've already played. Soundtracks like Ori and the Blind Forest and Hollow Knight, which is a game I'm a massive fan of. Those kind of games, I guess they give me a good idea of how music is used in the bigger picture, but in terms of the sound, I draw my inspiration from other sources, I think. Yeah. The electronic elements come from, sci-fi type scores, and the medieval stuff comes from, medieval fantasy type scores. But it all kind of just collides together. And there's so many times where I envision a sound in my head and go, that would sound dope, and then try and recreate it and absolutely fail, and go, okay, yeah, no, this is not working. that happens a lot. I accidentally create a soundscape that I want to work on more. Usually when I'm writing music, I don't so much use it as an escape until after I've gone through whatever I've gone through. Because usually when I'm going through something, I have not much motivation to write at all. But once it's passed, I can sort of reflect on it and use it as a sort of therapeutic, I went through this, but I'm here now. I like to think I infuse that kind of optimistic sort of touch in my music, at least when it's personal. I used to be very narrow-minded in that, I would absolutely hate on pop music and focus on the instrumental stuff and go, film music is the way of the future and you should all listen to it. But now, there's a lot of beauty in finding something in a genre that you're not familiar with, because, it adds that element of unknown. You're finding something new, and as an artist or as a creator, you tend to want to explore that.